There's a big difference in the day-to-day lives of someone that is a little.
Hey bestie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bestie, I'm on my way to 10,000 subscribers. Kindly subscribe and also like the video. So in today's video, we'll be talking about skinny girl habits. So put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my true sense.
There's a big difference in the day-to-day lives of someone that is a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger, and someone that's super skinny. Here are some things that I do that I cultivated as I went through my weight loss journey. First being, I don't drink my calories. I don't drink juice if it's not green juice that I made at home. I only drink water. I don't get coffee and matchas. The whole debacle about what milk is good for you really gets me so stressed out that I'm just like, I'm good. Give me a bottle of water, actually. Fuck a drink. I don't want to drink. Whole milk is bad for you. Skim milk is bad for you. Oat milk is bad for you. Bitch, what is good for you? And if I do get a coffee or a matcha somewhere, I use it as a meal replacement. I don't get food along with it. Not to mention that a lot of those drinks has so much sugar for you. You think about how much sugar you're intaking every single day. I like to have days where I don't eat any sugar. When sugar enters your bloodstream, your body is kind of like shocked. Like, oh my God, what are we supposed to do with all these carbs? And then they're like, fuck it, let's pack it into fat cells. Like, let's just make it fat. Like, fuck it. So I try to not make my body go through that process by limiting as much sugar intake as possible, which leads me to my next thing. Monday through Friday, I am very strict on my fasting, on my diets, all of that, because I just feel like it feels so much better to reward yourself at the end of the week with a nice meal at a restaurant and a glass of wine and dessert at the end. Doing that every single day, eating sweets every day and having alcohol every day and not limiting yourself, then it's no longer special. I like to be strict. I like to have a regimen that isn't like hard too. Like, I don't like to do hard things. I want it to be easy peasy lemon.
Here are my top 10 all-time favorite skinny girl habits if you want to lose weight, lose fat, or slim in tone. Number 1 is being overly hydrated. Skinny girls love their water. They're drinking it all damn day. It'll help you get rid of cravings. It'll keep you full, keep you from overeating, and make you glow. Number 2 is walking everywhere all the time, 24/7, and at least hitting 10,000 steps a day. Walking is the best way to burn fat. It's a great way to lower cortisol, slim your thighs, get the fat off your stomach. Highly recommend. Number 3 is low impact movement or exercise at least 5 times a week. It is going to tone you up, lean you out, improve your posture, make you feel so confident and sexy. Number 4 is working out first thing in the morning. It's going to get you into a really strong routine, create a really strong habit where you will crave to move your body into exercise first thing in the day. It's also better to do the hardest things first, so you can't make any excuses. Number 5 is become a drink girly. Utilize your drinks. It is the reason I've been able to be in a calorie deficit and lose 20 pounds. Every single skinny girl, supermodel, influencer loves their drinks, their coffees, their matchas, their teas. It'll set you up. Number 6 is prioritize your sleep. Get more sleep. I know you're not doing it, and it is vital for weight loss. Sleeping impacts everything. It impacts your appetite, how satisfied you feel after eating, what types of foods you're craving, your energy levels, your mood, and your metabolism. So make sure to get your sleep. Number 7 is pamper yourself or do self-care every single day for at least 20 minutes. Do activities that de-stress you and make you feel amazing, whether it's journaling, walking, going to a spa, getting your hair or nails done. De-stressing will help you lose the weight. Number 9 is stretch multiple times a week or do yoga. It's really going to help your flexibility, make you feel more feminine and calm. But the biggest thing is it will lean you out. It will slim you out. I promise it changes your body. Number 10, lastly, is follow the 80-20 rule. It completely changed my life when I started doing it because I could be so consistent, so motivated. It got rid of my crazy cravings. I didn't have binge episodes anymore. And it will heal your relationship with food. I love you guys. I hope this helped. And until next time.
Like, something that pisses me off is people forget, like, if you want to be skinny, you have to do skinny activities, like eating less, you know, saying no to saying no to a lot of food. Like, if you're out when you eat a little bit, like, there's a reason why if that person's skinny, they're eating a little bit. There's a reason why they're taking half of their food home and finish it tomorrow for lunch. You know, like, if you're big and if you're looking at this girl and you see she's eating a little bit, and let's say you struggle and you want to be little, ask yourself, maybe I should do that too. You know, like, do you really think something's going to change if you're going to eat that full portion in front of you while that skinny girl is eating half of the portion? Do you really think, like, if you're going to eat that portion, you're like, something's going to change, you're going to get skinny, you're going to lose weight? No, like, nothing will change unless something changes. If you are in a point in your life right now where you're not happy with how you look, your body, how you feel, something has to change. Something has to change in your life, whether that be how much you're eating, exercising, whatever the case is. Something has to change in order for something to change, you know. Nothing's going to change if you're going to just sit there, complain, and like have all these excuses. Nothing's going to change. If you want to change, you have to change something, you know. It can start by small little habits that turn into bigger habits, or you can just like full-blown go like counting your calories, whatever. But nothing will change if you're sitting there doing everything that you're doing, you know. So people forget that how much work it takes to be skinny. Like and people think it's so easy. Like, I want to sit here and eat half of my fridge right now. We went to Costco today. I have snacks on deck. It's taken everything in me to sit here and not eat those snacks. But you know what? It is so much more like hotter to control yourself around food and look hot than just to go eat whatever you want and then feel like crap. It's like simple. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I get it. Food is an addiction. And we should treat it as such, you know. I've been there. Even now, I love food. Like, just because I'm skinny does not mean I don't love food. I freaking love food. I freaking wish I could eat as much as I want, but I still have to control myself, you know. Just because I eat intuitively does not mean I have full freedom around how much food I want to eat. Like, yes, I'll eat a meal and I'll go to my 70%, but that doesn't mean I don't want more. Of course I want more, you know. Who doesn't want to eat freaking gooey, warm cinnamon rolls? Oh. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course I love food. I don't know what my point is, but my point is it takes a lot of work to be skinny. So appreciate the skinny people in your life, okay? Because we deserve to be appreciated too, okay? Not just body positivity people need hype and need encouragement. We skinny people need encouragement to stay skinny.
When I wanted to lose weight for good and I wanted to stop all the crash dieting and all of the calorie counting and all of the macro tracking, I decided I was going to start studying the people that I wanted to be like, the people that I observed to be, or I thought at the time to be naturally thin. How did they get that way? What were they doing that I was not doing? And what did I need to do to get there? And just a caveat to throw out there, because someone's going to say it, I know that this is not the case for every single person in the world. There are exceptions. I'm just saying, I went and I studied a lot of people, watched a lot of what I eat in a day, watched a lot of content for people that just seemed like effortlessly thin. And this is what I came up with. And I have a little notepad. Number one, their life was largely de-centered around food. And what I mean about that is, instead of making food the focal point of everything you do when you look forward to something in the day is like, I'm looking forward to my breakfast, I'm looking forward to my iced coffee, I'm looking forward to going out to eat with so-and-so, I'm looking forward to eating this specific thing. It was more of an afterthought. They were more looking forward to other things in the day that brought them joy. And so examples where I would watch what I eat in a day is from various people was mostly models what I eat in a day. And yes, I know not everybody shows you everything they do on what I eat in a day. Some people have unhealthy habits. I'm aware of that. You don't have to tell me that. But largely, they did a lot of things that had nothing to do with food. They did a lot of walking. They were doing some reading. They were going out with friends, and they were eating food, but it wasn't the focal point. They were just like really enjoying their life. Number two, they were busy and always moving, always doing something. Like, very rarely, I did see them rest at like normal people, taking time to chill out, but they were just busy. They had a really rich life, always something going on. They had very little time where they were just like twiddling their thumbs, which probably kept their metabolism up and kept them from mindlessly snacking throughout the day. Number three, always sharing food. So I would see them if they would go out to eat at restaurants, showing you what they were eating. Same things with like my sister, who's always been a naturally thin person, always sharing food, never taking large portions of food. If they did, they were like, ooh, do you want to have some of this with me? And what this did was it made it less like of a focal point around the food once again. And secondly, there was no waste. So a lot of the times for me, why I would overeat was because I felt like I didn't want to waste the food. But when you're sharing the food with somebody else, Very little gets wasted, if anything at all. It also takes like the possessiveness around food away. I used to have a weird possessiveness around food. Like I couldn't even share it. Like I was very gluttonous about it. I need to have all of it, as much as I possibly could have. And then when I didn't have enough of it, I was panicking that I wasn't going to get any more. They are not rushed, number 4, to eat or make their food. I would notice that they would be like, I'm getting hungry, and they were still out on a train coming back from something or whatever, but then they would come home and they wouldn't just get like takeout, but they would come home with some ingredients and they would make a real meal. And then they would check some emails or something, and then they would sit down and have the meal and like be present with the meal. And there was no rush around it. Like even though they might have been like really hungry, really starving, they were still making home cooked meals, being really patient about it. There was no rush, there was no scarcity. Number 5, they were mostly eating whole foods. So they were having real foods mixed in, like, pizzas and desserts occasionally, but they were all in moderation. And most of the time they were eating whole foods, and they would talk about that how good it felt to eat X, Y, and Z, how they mainly ate this, but sometimes, they would live their life and have a little fun, and they would go out with friends, but it was always like in such a balance. So if they maybe had a meal where they had a little bit more fun food, then the next meal they scaled it back a little bit, had a little bit more nutrition. And number 6, they were incredibly mindful. And I noticed this is what the major thing for me in losing weight and keeping it off very naturally and simply. It was being mindful around my food, being mindful how the food I was eating was making me feel, how I was feeling while I was eating it, and then stopping at a lightly satisfied point and not pushing past that point because I felt like I was missing out or I wanted to squeeze every bit of enjoyment out of the food possible. I was finding more enjoyment stopping at a good point and putting it away and feeling really good after the meal. I was feeling better doing that than I was shoving the food in my mouth and eating past the point of my body saying no more. This has gone on too long. Let me know if you want me to do any more of this series, but that is just what I've observed and things that I've also practiced to completely change my life and help me lose the weight and keep it off pretty.
Here's what a lot of naturally slim people do without realizing it. I've lost 40 pounds with hypothyroidism, and I do a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about here, and that has helped me lose these 40 pounds. I think the number one thing is that they are not food focused all day. There is a lot of times in their day that they are not actually thinking about food. They are thinking about other things that have nothing to do with food, such as going to the movies, watching their favorite TV show, or playing video games. These people are not restricting themselves, which means they're going to have a little bit less food noise because there is no restriction there and your body is not feeling restricted from food. Since they don't restrict themselves, they are eating consistently all week. Yeah, maybe on the weekends because they're going out with friends more, they're eating out a little bit more, but even then, they're staying consistent in the amount they're eating because they're not being restricted on any kind of diet. They manage their stress in other ways than rewarding themselves with food. This is actually so true. I don't think 90% of people who are slim and don't take precautions to stay slim, they usually don't stress eat, because imagine we get stress almost every day. These people who do handle stress, they are not feeding themselves with. Lastly is that they do intuitively eat. They are mindful eaters. They know to stop when they are satisfied. They know to stop before they get too full. They know their natural hunger cues a little bit more than someone who tends to overeat and be overweight because of it. Ultimately, I think that if you can train your lifestyle, not going full send, but train yourself with little habits like the mindset of a slim person, you can get there and keep the weight off for the rest of your life. But you just need to start first on maybe one of those bad habits you have, such as stress eating. Maybe instead of stress eating, you can find something else that is more meditative or something like that actually is more beneficial to your mental health.
Skinny Girl Habit of the Day, Episode 5. The one thing skinny girls love more than their matcha lattes, their hot girl walks, their Pilates, is their sleep. It is so overlooked, it is so underrated, but it is one of the most important and impactful things on your weight loss. You need to be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, high quality sleep every single day. I don't care how you do it, you need to make it a priority, one of your number one priorities. You need to dedicate time to it. Dedicate time to figuring out a nighttime routine that works for you. When you should eat, what you should eat, if you should take supplements, start figuring it out and it will change your life. I promise you. By not getting enough sleep, your cortisol levels are going to raise tremendously. And what that means is your body's going to store into all the fat it can and store it all on your belly. It'll store everything on your belly, which is the last thing we want. It's going to increase your appetite, exponentially increase your appetite. It's going to increase your cravings. You're not going to get satisfied at all. Nothing will satisfy you, and also the types of food you crave. You are depleted of energy, so you're going to be craving instant energy things like greasy, fatty, sugary foods. It literally makes dieting and weight loss 1,000 times harder. It is also going to slow your metabolism all the way down, girl. It's going to slow your metabolism. You're going to burn less calories. You're going to burn less fat throughout the day. You will also have no energy, which will make the willpower so much harder to have, so much harder to work out, stay active, stay on your feet. Multiple studies have been done on the effects of sleep, on weight loss, on fat loss. And if you're getting 5.5 hours of sleep a night versus your 7, 8, 9 that you need, your body will lose 55% less fat. So while you're losing weight, while you're working out, while you're pushing yourself, even when you're sleep deprived, you are not losing the same amount of fat. And actually, the majority of your weight loss is coming from fat-free masses. You are losing more muscle. You are losing more things that you want to be keeping and keeping the fat. That is not what we want. These skinny girls sleep. They don't care what's going on. They will go to sleep. That's all that matters to them. And that is why they are skinny, they're beautiful, and they're healthy. Love you guys.
I just love being hungry for dinner. When I was overweight and I was a big back, like I was never hungry for dinner. I would actually have to make myself go on walks so I could build up an appetite to eat. Literally crazy. Like that is such weird behavior. But anyways, we're going to dinner now. I'm hungry. I'm so excited, but not too excited because skinny girl behavior.
Girl, I hope this video leads you to skinny talk, because them folks said that if you eating all night, that means you don't brush your teeth at night. If you want to stop eating at night, brush your teeth. And if you still stay up a little bit after that, brush your teeth again. It's going to stop you from eating. That was the craziest one I heard. Y'all already know my input. You are not a pet. You are not a dog. Stop rewarding your progress with food. Buy yourself some new workout shoes. Buy yourself a new workout set from the Fit and Fine Quality Collection website in my bio. Buy yourself some new socks. Buy yourself a new sports bra so you can be intact when you're working out. Stop rewarding yourself with food. You are not a pet. They got that from me. Y'all, skinny talk is the craziest thing I've seen thus far, and I love it over here. It's not about being skinny. It's about building a healthier lifestyle, reaching goals, doing your daily tasks that make a difference in your life and help you to see progress. It's crazy over there, y'all. Y'all, skinny talk said, you always talking about a cheat meal and you look like one. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. They getting crazy over there. I hope this video finds its way over to Skinny Talk, because it needs to route you in that direction. So for the next 99 days up until summer, you on your best bully. You hitting them steps, you doing your cardio, you hitting them weights 3 times a week. You eating high protein, right? Drinking your 100 to 120 ounces of water every day. And you're saying no to the alcohol. Listen, I'm telling you, Skinny Talk will start to have you second guessing yourself and making sure you're doing your part on the back end. Tap in, sis, and don't tap out before Skinny Talk.
So that's a video, bestie. So I'm just here also to add on what I think about skin girl habits. So I'm going to start with one key thing. It's not just about food. Skin girls often have a very casual relationship with eating. They eat when they're hungry and stop when they're full. They don't emotionally eat. They're not constantly obsessed over what they're going to eat next. That relaxed mindset around food plays a huge role. You rarely see them binge eating or snacking out of boredom. They are more tuned in with their hunger cues. They listen to their body. If they're not hungry, they simply don't eat. It sounds so basic, but it's very powerful, bestie. It's a powerful habit most people overlook. Another thing is I have noticed is movement. Skin girls don't necessarily go to the gym every day or run marathons, but they move a lot. They walk, they take stairs, they clean, they from scratch, okay? They don't sit for long hours in one position. Even their hobbies keep them active. Maybe it's shopping, dancing around their room, or just constantly being on the go. Their lifestyle naturally burns more calories because they're always in motion. Even if it's low effort, that constant movement throughout the day adds up way more than an hour gym session, followed by 10 hours of sitting on the couch. There's also tend to eat real food. You won't find them living off chips, fast food, and soda. They're not always on some trendy, healthy kick, but their meals tend to be balanced. Think fruits, vegetable, protein, water. They hydrate. They don't drink their calories. And even when they're indulge, it's in moderation. That's the thing. You see skinny girls eat cake, but not the whole cake. They enjoy food without guilty, and the guilt-free mindset actually prevent overeating. They don't spiral after each meal. They just get back to their normal routine. Another habit that makes a huge difference is portion control. Skinny girls are rarely the ones with the heaping plates. They tend to save themselves modest portion and eat slow. They're not rushing through meals or eating like it's their last supper. They pause, they chew, and they save their food. And in the doing so, the brain has enough time to realize when they're full. That helps them naturally stop without even thinking about it. They don't rely on willpower. Their habits are built around mindful and consistency. So let's also talk about mindset for a minute. A lot of slimmy girls carry themselves with confidence, not arrogance but self-respect. That self-respect shows how they care for their body. They prioritize sleep, they manage stress, they take time for themselves. They understand that their body is their home and they treat it with care, not punishment. That energy matters. They're not constantly crash dieting or jumping from one extreme to another. They build a lifestyle that supports their body without obsessing over it. Something else you notice is routine. They have one, whether it's set, wake up time, regular meals, or skincare routine. They follow a pattern that keeps them grounded. Routine gives structure, and when you have a structure, you're less likely to spiral. You don't find them skipping meals all day or to binge at night. They don't live in chaos. That calm, consistent structure plays a big role in regulating hunger, sleep, energy, and emotional balance, all of which impact weight over time. Also, let's not ignore the emotional side. Skin girls are not immune to stress, but many have healthy ways of dealing with it. They vent to a friend, journal, go for a walk, or simply take a break. They don't cope with food. The emotional regulation is key because a lot of weight gain stems from using food as comfort control. When you find peace within yourself, you don't need to fill a void with constant eating. Emotional discipline is one of the most underrated skin girl habits out there. Another thing is skin girls don't think of weight loss as finish line. They're not trying to get skinny for summer or fit into a dress. Their lifestyle is a goal. They know what works for their body and stick to it. The long-term mindset is what keeps the weight off. It's not about short-term results. It's about living in a way that supports the body year round. They don't start over every Monday because they never complete 4 off. So bestie, if you're trying to lose weight or maintain a healthy body, take inspiration from these habits, not because you want to look like someone else, but because their behavior are rooted in balance, self-respect, and solely in cooperating with your own life without pressure or perfection. So let me know in the comment section if you recognize any of these habits in yourself or if one you are ready to start today. And don't forget to subscribe. So before I go, I just want to talk about a little bit, okay? You have to make a routine for yourself, okay? It will be very important. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.